Oh shit, no water. Okay, we gonna be okay, right? Without water? Yes.
I don't know. I hope so.
Hi everyone. This is Baruch and Mr. Luis. We're both here today. We're gonna do our podcast, as you guys know. Uh, Today it's gonna be number 83. It is what is your end game? So we're gonna be talking about the stuff that what is your end game? What's important? How are you gonna get there? What is going to take for you to get there, and everything like that. The mindset and determination, all kinds of stuff like that. So this is Develop Your Mindset podcast. We've been doing this for a while, and we've been enjoying doing this. And today we're gonna do a really good show for you guys and make you guys go deep and think about what it's going to take for your end games. If you don't have a game, you gotta probably create one for yourself, and if you do, then you gotta play it right. So we're gonna talk about it. We have pretty good idea what we're gonna say, and hopefully this is gonna be very helpful. Without further ado, please do your honor.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode. Here we are, Develop Your Mindset podcast, as usual, and we're going live once again. Today's Saturday, and yes, today we're going to be talking about setting your end game and having a specific, target, having something to really aspire to, and it's got to be like really massive and big, because that's what will really push you, to really tap into your fullest potential. And so in this podcast, we're going to discuss how important that is and how you can actually do that for yourself if you haven't already. Without further ado, we can go ahead and get started.
Awesome, awesome. Before I start, the first question that we have lined up for us to be able to talk about it, because these questions come from the what we go through as a company, as like uh, the commotion, the in and out, all everything that happens here in the company. This is a jewelry company, Kabartsi Jewelry. Please visit our website and let us know what you think with all the new products and everything. But a lot of things happen here, so we put this together in that manner, like in the experience that we got through. So it's real. We know we went through it this whole week, Monday to Saturday. So we're gonna be talking about stuff like that. So basically, this week was you have to have a game. You have to have what is your end game. So let's talk about what is your end game. The see, like if you don't have something to look forward to have the end, what is important, and that's pretty much if you don't, it's you're a little bit all over the place. You're a little bit lost. You're a little bit you fall out of focus. So you need to stay focused. You have to have something to look ahead and have a game how plan how you're gonna get there. So I think that's what pretty much we all need if we're doing something bigger than us. So you gotta do it, man. Pretty much. I want to start from here, like really short. That first question:
Yeah.
what is your end game?
Wait, like,
Yeah, like, do you have end game? What is your end game? Like, people, everyone should have something to look forward to. That's
yeah,
how to get there
of course.
is you have to have a game.
I think it's really relative to your age and like what your current circumstances are. Like as of now, I actually have multiple ones. Like part of it is like becoming successful here.
I need to get up, get there. Continue.
Like being here, like in a company. There's certain like final goals that I have in mind for achieving here. Then there's things like my personal life where my end game pretty much at that point is to become the best version of myself and be able to tap into my fullest potential and really see what I'm capable of through just experimentation and really trying a lot of things out and seeing where I could really devote, my gifts towards, because, my really at the end of the day, I wanna have a combination of, being fulfilled and being happy, and at the same time being able to provide the highest amount of value in whatever form that takes. And so that's really where I'm at now. I'm in that discovery journey where I'm trying to figure that out, and ultimately that's the end game, to be able to provide that value and at the same time feel happy, with whatever it is that I choose to do in order to do that. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you should, one thing I have to say is like, I heard what you just said. One thing I want to say is like, you definitely, even though you don't know what game you're going to play, what do you need to do? You have to create something that you think you're going to like, and then you're going to go after it. You got to put the effort and time and see if something you want to continue doing it. So that's very important. What I'm saying is like, you should have something, some kind of game. You can't not have a game and then be I mean, you're doing stuff that it's not going to get you anywhere. That's not going to work.
Of course.
Yeah. So next, which is the main important um, things. I'm confused. Next is which is the main important point we're going to start this podcast from, which is no need to spend unnecessary time. How to win time? It's very very important. Time is the most one of the most important points. Uh, what? Jesus. Um, so like I do a lot of things. I spend a lot of time, a lot of places. What makes me happy, what doesn't make me happy, has to do with where I spend my time. That's one of the values, one of the things. Other things are, am I making enough? Am I making a change? Is it going to change anything? Am I wasting too much time at one point that I need to spend more time? These are something when you doing, like your end game. When you want to get to that place that you are dreaming, you want to be there, you want to be that person, you want to have that house, the car, whatever you want to have. It's important because end of the day, it's gonna take time, and then wasting time, it's gonna prolong it. You're not gonna get there fast. You gotta pay attention to your time. What you're doing is important, and how to win time is important also. Like, what can you do to create more time for yourself? We all have 24 hours. We're not going to have anything more than that. Rich person or successful person has 24 hours. The lazy person and unsuccessful person has 24 hours. How you spend your time is how you do things. What do you get for it? Like, and how do you create more time for yourself in that span of 24 hours is also, you have to learn how to do that for yourself. You can't be, maybe like you need to buy this one machine that makes things, instead of making 50 pieces, you're going to make 500 pieces. And then maybe you should work towards that, should be your goal, to buy that machine first before you get to your money, to your car, to your house, whatever it is. You're going to really work hard to get that machine, bring that machine, so you can start making more, saving, like winning time, kind of, and so you have to know your priorities, and then what's more important, what's first, what's next, what's after that. Once you understand, you're going to work towards of this machine. With that machine, with your time, you're going to have enough to buy the next machine, the next. Once you have all this group of machines, you're going to probably produce 10 times more when you first started, because of all this, and then that means you're winning time, you're saving time, you're creating more than you can with small machine or by yourself, with by your hands. So you have to kind of see it that way, plan it, and then that's going to become your game. You need to play that game to get these machines or whatever it is. That's what you're going to go after. You're going to do that. Don't spend unnecessary time, like thinking about the big machine. Probably you need the smaller machine where you can bring in um, more money to reinvest that money into the bigger machine and stuff like that. You have to play it right. So I guess pretty much when it comes to explaining this, there's different ways, but I hope this was clear enough. Vision.
Yeah, so no need to spend necessary time. So I think when it comes to this is pretty much essentially time management. So when it comes to time management, I think it's important that you have a clear vision as to what kind of goals you want to achieve, and what are the steps that it's going to take in order to achieve those goals, and then prioritizing whatever it is that you have to do, whatever actions that must be taken to accomplish that goal. You need to prioritize those. And yes, every single day there's constantly going to be distractions. There's constantly going to be people who will ask you to do this thing or that thing, and so you have to be very clear, very rigid with whatever your goal is, and make sure that the people that you work with, that you interact with on a daily basis, they have to be aware of what your goal is as well, because there may come a time where you have to say no to certain things. And obviously, deep down, obviously, if you're a good person, you don't want to necessarily say no to people and stuff like that, because perhaps it's important for them that you show up somewhere, or that you help them out in some way. But at the same time, if they're aware that you're on a mission, you're on a purpose, you have goals to achieve, you have actions to take, then it makes it much smoother for you to just say no to them, because they're aware of what your current situation is. So it's very likely that there'll be more understanding when you do such a thing. So the thing about time management is that once you're clear about those things, you can manage your time a little better, as opposed to when you're not very clear. You're operating on a more random schedule. You're not necessarily clear as to what needs to be done first and second and third. You're pretty much okay with doing this thing now and then this other thing like 2 3 weeks later. You're not very clear as to when these things have to be done. Then it's very easy to just start getting distracted and getting pulled here and there, because you're not very clear as to when things have to be done. And so it's important that you set that very clearly. And one tool you can use is your calendar, and be able to write things down on your calendar every single day, and know exactly, like, okay, on Monday these things have to be done, Tuesday these things have to be done, and so on and so forth. That way, at least you know what has to get done. And then after that, if you do have some spare time to give to other people, or stuff like that, then you have that time.
Yes, that's very important to have the calendar, the time, everything. One thing I want to warn you guys is like a lot of time, some people, I'm not saying you, some people, they put it on their calendar, but that stays only on the calendar. They don't take action. So it's very important to take action. So remember to take action. When it's on the calendar, that means you tell everybody that you are going to be very busy when that day and the hour comes, and you don't have any appointments. You make sure no one's coming, and you tackle it and you do it. So that's just a little warning there. Be clear on what you want and how do you are going to do it. Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, it's very clean, very important, like to know, to be clear in your mind, what do you want? You know, do you want your car that you're going to purchase to be stuck, or do you want it to be with spoilers and the rims and maybe black interior, or outside black? You have to be clear. You have to know. You can't be doing random things. Whatever this looks good and the price is right for me. Let me just buy it. You gotta have. You got. You have to have a clear vision on what you really, really want and what are you going to do. So that would become your um, you know go to, and then you're going to work towards to getting that, and that's going to help you to get to your goal, definitely. And that's going to be your game that you're going to play, and that's pretty much how it's going to go. You need to know, you have to be very clear on that kind of stuff, because we do a lot of stuff here in the company, and then we do it pretty much in an organized way, and we follow the organization of it, and we don't do random things. When other random things come in, usually means we're losing money, we're losing time, we're going backwards, we're not going forward. We could be finishing a bunch of orders, and we just got busy doing this one thing, and we missed our deadline. That means, so that's why you have to be clear, you have to understand what is happening, and you have to follow this. Journal is a good thing. You should write these things down, and then go back and read your journal and read it like it's your life, and this is what you did, this is what you went through, you know what I mean, like stuff like that. And then just once you understand your mind what it's doing, you start changing your way of thinking, way of doing things. That's why I guess we say develop your mindset. So that's very crucial.
Yeah. So be clear on what you want and how you're gonna do it. So yeah, I think well you explained it pretty well. I think that's pretty clear. The more specific you get as far as what goals and what you want to achieve in life, the higher the chances you have of actually attaining that. But if you're not exactly clear as to what you want, and you're just operating very randomly, or you're planning to just settle for whatever result you get, and you're not really willing to take a few failures and then go back at it again, in order to actually get what you want, then it's going to be very hard for you to get any sort of result. And so you're going to get very random results, and that can either be good or it can be bad. And so that's not good. So in order to prevent that, I think the next point here is important, which is knowing exactly how you're going to do it. So actually playing it out, having a strategy to execute. And yes, you may encounter times when you do set up a plan, you do set up a strategy, and it does end up not working out. It goes bad, it fails. And so the thing is that even if you do plan, there is still a chance that you can fail. It's not like just because you planned it, just because you have a strategy, it doesn't mean it's going to work. It just means that you're just increasing your chances of it actually working out, because now you have
Mhm.
a specific plan, you have some sort of a set of actions to take. But at the end of the day, it can still fail. And so you have to be clear as to what you want. That way, if that strategy fails, you can easily just throw away the strategy and implement a whole new one. If that one didn't work, okay, what's on the different way? You can analyze your failure and see what in that strategy, what was wrong, what did you do wrong. And so for the next one, you can plan it even better. And with time, you'll gain more experience and you'll become a better strategist. And so you'll be able to implement better and better strategies moving forward that can guarantee success at a much higher, with a much higher percentage as opposed to before. But obviously you have to do this over and over again. But just to be clear here, the more clear, the more specific you get as to what you want, the higher the chances are that you're actually going to get it.
Beautiful. I had a few things to like maybe come in and say, but I think you said it really nicely again. We're gonna move on to the next, which is mind and heart, unity, and determination. So, mind and heart unity is very, very crucial, very important. You have to be aware of this, right? So, your mind could say something, your heart could could feel something. So, you know, like your mind is saying, "Do this, do this, do this," and your heart is set on something else. It's a dilemma. It's a what do you call that? It is shit. I can't remember the word. I'm gonna move on. So So what you want to do is like you have to connect your heart and your mind together. Be Become in the center. When you are in the center, you are very clear. You're gonna know exactly what you want. How are you gonna do it? And then after that, it's time to go. Time to start putting the time. Whatever else we're talking about, that's when it comes. Right after that. So that's why you have to have determination to do these things. It gets hard. Nothing's easy, especially if you're thinking to do something bigger than what you're usually used to doing it. It always are not easy. It's always going to be something that you have to overcome, or you have to learn something new. And then whatever it is, whatever it takes, you're gonna do it. You're gonna go through it, and you're gonna find it. So this is very important to connect your mind and your heart, become in the center. Um, yeah, what else I was thinking? I was thinking about some people. I mean, maybe I'm gonna take it to this direction. Some people are very, very disconnected from their heart. They think with their mind a lot, and then when you do that, you're almost like a robot. And sometimes people don't understand you because you sound very robotic. When you speak from your heart, you use compassion, you use caring, you use that kind of things, and then that goes long way. People will open up to that, and then they really uh, take time off from their mind, and then be there present. So make sure you use your heart. It's very important. You have to have stories about your heart. You got to tell stories, heart stories, which is like you gotta tell stories if you went through some kind of um, you know overcome something. That's a good story to talk about. And determination is very important. Um, I think that's pretty much where I'm gonna stop. So don't just use your mind. You need to use your heart also to when you are going doing something bigger than you.
Of course. So
You know how to explain this. I go for it.
yeah, so I mean, I'm still currently working on that, like that combination of using your mind and your heart, because I think that's really the formula really here too that will lead you to actually get determined and committed to something. Whether that's a person or that's a career or that's some sort of a job or something that you decide to pursue all the way. It's important that both of them are aligned. So your mind, being the knowledge and the intelligence that you have, and of course the heart, which is your intuition and really feeling out what feels right for you to do out there. So I think we all have I believe we all have a specific calling, and that calling is going to be different for everybody depending on how you grew up and the circumstances that you grew up under and the experiences that you had as you grew up. Usually that calling usually derives from a pain that you experienced, and you being able to overcome is something that he said, which was really important, as sharing your story as of something that you overcame. And I think there's a lot of value there, because that really helps to create a connection with whoever is trying to learn from you. It helps them find some sort of or at least the people that you will be able to help the most. They'll be able to relate with you, and they'll be able to feel like you understand them. And when somebody feels understood, they're more likely to actually continue to listen to whatever it is that you have to say. So they're both equally as important. And definitely, I think if you want to find something or someone that you want to commit to, and that you want to feel determined to actually put in the work that's necessary in order to make that other individual as happy as possible, or be able to put in as much work and devote yourself to a specific purpose. It's important that you find something that you really love to do, and of course, with your heart. and of course use your mind to acquire the knowledge that's necessary. So go and educate yourself as far as like what you have to learn, and of course use it to take action wisely and intelligently, and yeah.
Beautiful. Um, Clearly and honesty and pursuit of happiness. Right? Yes.
Yeah.
So, honesty is the best policy. That's that old cliche. It's right. It's been right. It's going to be right after we go. Um, Pursuit of happiness is, I guess, that's has to do with your way of life. What is your happiness, right? What's gonna make you happy, and like, what is it important? So important that when you achieve that, you're gonna feel fulfilled, and you're gonna be very happy that you actually did it. You know, so you have to be clear. Uh, yeah, and you have to be honest with yourself and with the others. You can't lie to yourself that it's going to happen, it's coming, it's going to work out. You just have to be very clear that it's going to take this much effort. I need to learn this, I need to have this machine, I need to do this much, I need to have this kind of client. And then be honest with yourself, and then use that methodology, that whatever, what is that, like a plan, into everything that you do. And then that's pretty much, it's going to take you to the promised land, where you need to be, where the door is, you know and once you do that, you pursue your happiness, which is like pursue your dream, or pursue, uh, like if you want to build a car, you need a lot of expertise, a lot of this and that, and then you're going to pursue that. Once you get the expertise and you're going to build your own car, that's going to make you fulfilled. That's going to make, it's going to be, you become that person. Everyone's going to recognize you, as in you are artist, you are designer, you are you are creator. So um, you have to be very clear and be honest with yourself. What is it going to take? Don't just talk and don't do any action. You know, if you're doing action and you're not really talking, that kind of like separation there too. So you have to talk, and you have to take action, and you have to be happy about that, whatever you're doing, and then pursue your dream. And sometimes the dreams have to be re- realigned, readjusted, corrected, and then whatever it takes, you can do it. You're gonna get there, pretty much. You know.
Yeah, so the pursuit of happiness, I think we're all, to some degree, that's pretty much what we're all pursuing for, in one way or another. If you really think about it, pretty much every action that you take from the heart, it's usually with that goal in mind, but the thing is that, how you get there, what action you take in order to attain that happiness, that's really what you want to focus on, because some approaches are actually good, and some approaches are not so good. Uh they're actually deceiving you into thinking that that's actually going to give you any happiness, but instead it's just going to give you that temporary pleasure and some sort of level of excitement, but it's not really happiness. It's just temporary, sort of to like numb you and like make you feel that you're okay and everything. But yeah, I mean, I actually talk about that more in my book about happiness, where I go more into detail as to how you can, you
Link
know,
down below.
link down below, yeah, as to how you can attain that happiness, and what kind of steps you can take. But definitely, honesty. I think honesty is extremely important, and honesty with other people, and honesty with yourself as well, because
Yeah.
it works both ways. You got to be honest with the people around you, as far as like what you're after, what you want out of life, and what you're willing to take, your boundaries, your standards, and be very honest as far as like that goes, because people have to be aware of what is it that you want out of life, and what is your goal, what are you going after. That way, they can be they have a good solid interpretation of who you are, and so they know, like, what they can expect from you and what they shouldn't expect from you. And so that's for them. And of course, for yourself, it's important that you're clear with yourself and that you're honest. That way, you know exactly what you have to do. You're not fooling yourself that you are taking more action than you should. Maybe you're not taking enough action. So you have to be honest with yourself and be like, okay, I haven't been taking action. Maybe I should start taking action. And so, it's better if you just accept that reality, even if it's a little painful to accept at the moment. You're like, man, I've been lazy. I haven't really been pushing myself. But it's better to just accept that and then, proceed and do something about it to change it, rather than being like, oh no, I've been working hard. I've been, doing that, when deep down that you haven't. So, that's very important.
Yes, yes. So this is the thing. Everything you said is amazing, but the last part you said, I just want to say, a lot of people. I would just want to say, those of you guys don't understand this. A lot of people don't take action, even though they want it so bad.
Yeah.
Part of it is because they don't like to be failures. They don't want to fail. Part of it is when they do something. See, the thing is, like, let's say there's like five people, cousins, brothers, and a neighbor, right? And they all hang around with each other all the time. And none of them take any action. They all come together, they eat, they drink, they laugh, and they go home. And they all have ambitions and pursue dreams. And none of them are taking any action. One person takes action and he fails, and the other one's gonna go, I told you you're not gonna succeed, man. That's gonna crash that person, and that's gonna put a seed on the other four that don't try to do something that bigger than you. You are not gonna be successful, and the other four is gonna put you down for it. They're gonna laugh at you. They're gonna not look at you like you're a successful person. You don't know how to succeed. That keeps them moving forward with doing action. So I just want you guys to be aware of this. When you should be like, not care about it, you should just fucking do it anyways. And then if you fail, don't worry, because that's the only way you're going to learn how to succeed. So more failures meaning you're closer to success, and the next time could be the success. So um, you have to have the mindset of determination of, I'm going to be successful whatever it takes, and then you're going to go and you're going to do it whatever it takes, as much time it takes to become successful. And don't worry about the other cousins and neighbor, whatever they're saying. It doesn't matter. What matters is you are happy doing it. When you're successful and you're not successful, you're still happy because you fucking did it. You made it. You went through it. It didn't succeed because afterwards you kind of know already what you could have done a little bit different, which is next time you're gonna do it anyways. So I just wanted to put this out there because a lot of people are scared, man, to even take the action to go for it. So
Yeah. I mean, we could probably make a whole podcast on that.
oh yeah,
Like the
for
reasons
sure.
why,
The
like, people
the
don't.
reasons, the feelings, thoughts, and
Yeah.
yeah, the heartache, the word we have it down here.
Hmm.
So the last question is very long, and it's going to take a little bit of time to explain, because usually the way I do it is, because the podcast is develop your mindset. We start with that, and then we take it to another direction. Here, the last word is mindset. So we're gonna go for it and become to the mindset. The
Hmm.
last word. So, what are the ways you can stay motivated and make sure you are not going through heartache with your mindset? So, what are the ways you can stay motivated. Man, like motivation takes a lot. You will lose motivation. You fall out of motivation is very, very not very easy to fall out. Listening to successful people. Um, you're watching us on YouTube. You can do other research, search on how to stay motivated, what it takes to stay motivated. There's a lot of videos out there for you to keep yourself motivated. Listen to those audiobooks, read books, watch motivating episodes, movies, somebody's life, and those are going to keep you in the loop of staying motivated. Um, I don't know. I mean, you gotta pick up the phone and start calling around. Maybe you gotta find people that they are instinctively, naturally, they're motivated people, and maybe you need to start hanging around with those kind of people. Don't hang around with bums and you know um, not exciting people. So find motivated people, have them as your friend, hang around with these people all the time, talk about motivated shit, man. So that's gonna help you to stay motivated. Um, there's a lot of those are some of the ways you can stay motivated. And how do you stay motivated? Before
Yes.
I move on to the next.
Yeah. So what are the ways you can stay motivated? I think it really depends on where you are in your journey here. So if you're just starting off, I think it's a very good way to really stay motivated. Is like you said, listen to audiobooks, watch videos on YouTube, or read books, or anything along those lines, right? Like pretty much you're getting external
Or
motivation.
listen to us.
Yeah, or listen to, or listen to this podcast, but
Yeah.
usually the motivation that you start getting at first, it's usually external. It's usually coming from an outside source, and that's fine, from the beginning, because usually when you're starting off your journey is because usually for the most part, when people start getting into this journey, is because they've experienced some sort of failure that was massive, and so they don't want to repeat that same failure again. So they want to do something about it. So then they pursue something like this, personal growth, because they want to actually improve and make a difference later on when they do decide to try again. And so it's very good to do that. But I think as you progress in your journey, you should be leaning more towards self motivation and really finding ways to motivate yourself. You really have your own core reasons as to why you want to continue doing the things that you're currently doing right now. And so I think it's important. Something that he said, which was, you know, choosing the right people in your life,
Mhm.
and then choosing the right environment as well, because these are way more powerful than you think. And so you have to choose the people in your life wisely, and of course the environment that you find yourself in as well. Both of those should be very motivating, from the people to the environment. And of course, you have to find your own self motivation, where that's you can create that through the work that you do. Maybe it's your creativity that pushes you. You have all these ideas and you want to get all these ideas out, so you're motivated by your own ideas. Or maybe it's through pain. Maybe you put yourself purposefully in situations of pain constantly, because that pain motivates you to pretty much overcome that
Mhm.
pain. And
Yep.
or perhaps it's through you creating problems, you pursuing problems. These problems can actually push you to learning things, and you are just motivated by solving problems. So that in of itself can be something that it's self motivation. And so yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how pretty much I do it, with solving problems and through pain. And I don't do too much of the external motivation anymore, because that was more of something that I used in the beginning. But now uh, I still use it, but not as much anymore.
Something you said, which is very important point, which is like core reason. It's very important to have a core reason, of course. And when you do your core reasoning, sometimes you're not going to succeed. Like I said, and you have to be okay with failure. Stick to your core reasoning. Sometimes your reasoning should maybe going to need a little bit of help to go to the right or left or top, up or down. You're going to work with it. You're going to develop it. You gotta fix it, and then you get there. The thing is, you just have to be okay with failures, and then eventually you succeed, and you succeed more and more and more, and then hopefully you succeed more than you lose. But that's what it's gonna take. Core reasoning is important, but just do it. So you'll see what is it gonna take to succeed. You know, that's the thing. And next one is and make sure you are not going through heartaches with your mindset. Mindset is such an important thing. That's what it took for me to do the big change in my life. I had to change my mindset, my belief system, my understanding of everything. I used to think that I'm going to work by myself because I'm a really amazing jeweler. People told me. I was like, wow, so I'm going to work myself by myself, and I'm going to buy my house, my car, and everything. That was, that was the wrong thing to do. That didn't wasn't working. So the mindset, it took a long time for my mindset to change. I had to get out of my old mindset and go create my new version. And I never want to go back to the old version. And the new version still needs work, still needs help. It's a nonstop, constant, fixing and maneuvering and going forward. That's what it's going to take. So you have to make sure you're not going through heartaches. Uh, you know, I guess it's part of it. It's gonna you gotta make sure, but when it happens, when it comes, it's gonna be okay. It's not end of the world until we go, until we die. But there's gonna be a lot of heartaches. Some people are gonna promise you stuff and they're not gonna go through. What are you gonna do? You can't do anything with that. You just have little heartaches. But the thing is, you have to have micro heartaches. You're gonna go really down and back up like a stock market, if that makes sense. Don't get stuck there. Don't feel sorry for yourself or whatever. It's not gonna serve you. You're not gonna get there. You have to always keep in your mind that the end game is where you want to be. Whatever it takes here, you're gonna go through up and down, whatever it takes, just to get there. When you get there, you just continue afterwards. But first, you have to get there first. Then you continue on. So, you know, worry about heartaches and don't worry about it either. However it comes, you just move on from it. And then you have to develop your mindset on all this that we spoke about. Just go through it. That's the key. And it's going to be okay. Yeah, for sure. You'll get there. And you have to have your own game, and then the game rule kind of stays the same. You just play it differently to win that game, and pretty much that's what it's going to take.
Yeah. So yeah, I think through your life, you're gonna face certain situations that give you heartaches, and they sort of make you question a lot of things, and they might even insert a little bit of self doubt. You could self
That's a good word.
sabotage, and
Right.
you can do a lot of unconscious harm to yourself, actually, if you're not really aware of these things, because these heartaches just come and they cause pain in your life, and sometimes you're not really aware of the side effects that come with that. And some of them, sure, you might get over whatever heartache it is that you're going through, but you're not really realizing the long-term effects that it has on the side that are almost unconscious, unless you, of course, you study content like this. And so it's important that you acknowledge that, and that you're aware of those things. And one of the best ways to do that is to obviously educate yourself. You can watch podcasts like these or any other similar ones, read books on the topics and stuff like that, depending on whatever heartache you have, because there's a lot of situations that can cause that. And so You just have to, go and inform yourself as to, things that could potentially happen after, you experience such a thing. And, it's another good thing is to actually, if it's too hard for you to actually take action right now because maybe the heartache is just too strong, reach out to someone, reach out to someone, preferably reach out to an expert, somebody that actually has gone through something like that and has actually overcame that. It's good to, it's okay to ask for help. Sometimes you need to ask for help. That's really the only option at that point. And so don't think that asking for help is weak or that it's wrong or that it's shameful in some way. Everybody needs help at some point, and so it's better if you ask for it now, early on, rather than you trying to solve it on your own when in fact you need some assistance. And so it's never wrong to do that. And so yeah, I mean, do that, take care of that. And once you do take care of that, you'll see that your mindset will be a little bit more balanced and probably most likely even stronger than before because you've overcame that. So now you have more awareness, you have more acknowledgement, and you're just stronger. And in the future, most likely you'll be able to take even stronger hits now because you've gone through certain heartaches now. And so you'll become more rigid, more stronger. And so usually that comes with more, actually usually for the most part it comes even with more success because you'll be able to take more chances, you'll be able to take even bigger risks than you currently are right now, and those usually can bring a much higher reward at the end of the day. And so it's good that you understand this, that way you're able to use this knowledge to really to your advantage.
All right, that was it. Pretty much today was good. What did we do? Like 40 minutes or so. I
Around
think
there, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty good, man. Yeah, you guys, you know, if you have any questions, please reach out and leave a comment down below. We will read it. We'll try to talk between us. And remember, what is your end game? You got to create one. If you do, you're going to go through a lot of stuff that we talked about and be ready for it, Um, and we're looking forward to hear from you if you are going through something like this, and that would be interesting, for other people to come in and read the comments too. So that was good.
For sure. I mean, yeah, thank you very much for watching another episode. Yeah, hopefully now you understand, what the end game is, and hopefully you understand like how you get there and what steps you can take in order to, have an end game and how to actually, the steps that it can take in order for you to get there and actually achieve it. So very very important part of self growth and success. And hopefully you learned a lot through this podcast. And once again, I mean, it was great to be part of it. Yeah, as far as like everything goes, there's going to be links down below to all of our books, and so you can download them or listen to them. And yes, there's going to be links to our social media so you guys can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and stuff like that. And of course, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification icon so you guys are notified every single time we go live or we, upload bits and bytes of the podcast, or we just upload an entire podcast episode. And so, yeah,
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Luis. Don't forget to develop your mindset.